You were taught that you only came here to work. You were taught that you came here to serve other people. You were taught that you're supposed to just give your life force energy away and give and give and give. No one ever said to you, hey, you were designed to be free. Free and liberated in every single aspect of your life. This is part 2, okay, of the first episode that I did that I called How You Were Taught to Be a Worker, but You Were Never Taught to Be Free. If you haven't watched part 1, go back and watch that before watching this video. All right. So the last video, I left off with a question about you as a Black woman. What can you do about your programming to work and just do, to prove your womanhood, to prove your humanness? What can you do right now, today, to get out of that programming, to free yourself from that consciousness? Here's what I want to say first before I tell you what you can start to implement in your life so that you can recover your true essence as the original woman, as an alchemist, as the creator of your life, as the creator of your abundance. In fact, you are abundance. You carry an abundance link. You carry a prosperity tone. It's in your blood. It's not something that is out there. It's not something that you have to work toward. You carry it. All right. So let me get into today's episode. I've been so excited to talk about this more and more. So this is why I have to look down. If you're new here and you see me looking down, yes, I have to take notes, because if I don't, I will be all over the place. Even sometimes with notes, I am still all over the place. But let me come back to this episode. Okay, so here's what I want to start off with. As a Black woman, we learned from that first episode that we've worked, there's that word again showing up. We've worked to fit into a system, a religious system, that one was not designed to benefit us. And we've carried that out into the world, into the so-called labor force, workforce, just out in society, that was never designed for us to fit in and conform to. All right. So what we have been programmed to believe we have to do is to keep working, to do all these things, to get all of these accolades and degrees, which is nothing wrong with. I talked about this in the first episode. I have several degrees myself, so don't take that the wrong way. Do not downplay your accomplishments. No, that's not what I'm saying. However, the consciousness that we have been programmed to carry is that we have to do all these things in hopes of fulfilling a standard that we will never fit into. That in itself is liberating. And I'm going to tell you why. Black woman, because you are the standard as the original woman. So no, you were never designed to fit into the constructs of religion. You were never designed to fit into the constructs of the workforce, labor force, whatever the fuck you want to call it. However you call it, just labor force and workforce, that in itself is a problem. But you are the standard as the original woman. And I'm going to read to you several paragraphs from the first Prophetesses of Mami Wata by Mama Zogbe. All right. I've read from this book before. If you have not gotten this book, please get this book. Okay. So I'm going to read first, and this is going to tie everything in. Okay. For this episode. So I want you, as I read this, I want you to keep this in mind. I'm going to say this again. You, Black woman, You have given your energy to the system of religion that was not designed to benefit you. You've then given your life force energy to a society and to systems in society that was not designed to that was not designed to benefit you. You've attempted to fit in every way, but you were not made to fit in anything because you are the standard as the original woman. All right. And I'm going to read a couple of things to you. So it was under the theocratic governance of the Sibyls as queen mothers that African matriarchal culture reached its golden age of achievement in medicine, religion. And I want to point this out. When this book is talking about religion, has nothing to do with this farce, this religious system that we see today, this religious system that exists in the Western world. No, absolutely not. That's not what we're referring to here. So that's why you have to get this book. So, achievement in medicine, religion, astronomy, philosophy, law, architecture, music, art, and social sophistication. I'm going to read that again. It was under the theocratic governance of the Sibyls as queen mothers, the ancient Black mothers, that African matriarchal culture reached its golden age of achievement in medicine, religion, astronomy, philosophy, law, architecture, music, art, and social sophistication. I'm going to read on. Under this same matriarchal sacerdotal order, an era of high diplomacy, mutual cooperation, and peace ensured. All nations, even up until to the Roman period, listen to this, depended on the prophecy, advice, and divine knowledge of these African priestesses, uttering the words of their African deities. That's the standard. That is in your lineage to be the standard. So that's why you're not designed to fit in. That is not why. That is not why you're here to fit in. So, what does this have to do with your freedom? What does this have to do with your freedom as a Black woman? Your freedom is directly linked to you getting reconnected with the truth of your essence. With the truth of your essence, your divine inheritance, your divine authority, your spiritual authority. Your freedom is directly linked to your identity. To free yourself from that worker label to prove, fill in the blank, to prove that you're validated, to prove you're worthy, to prove your womanhood, to prove whatever. I'm going to pose some questions to you. All right. And so I want you to ask yourself right now, why are you doing what you're doing? Literally, why are you doing what you're doing? The next time you agree to help someone, and I'm not saying that there's something wrong with helping someone, but why are you doing it? Are you doing it because you genuinely have a desire to do it? Or do you do it because that religious programming of, oh, I better show that I can help, to show that I'm a person that can be dependent upon, or so I don't look a certain way to a certain person or certain people? Is there an invitation that you've been sent? Did someone ask you to go somewhere? Are you agreeing to go? Are you saying yes? Are you doing the thing and saying yes out of obligation or because you really desire? Start to ask yourself, why are you doing what you're doing? That question may sound very simple, but I'm telling you, it is one of the most empowering things that you can do to step back in to your essence. Listen, we're talking about your spiritual authority. We're talking about your inheritance. We're talking about your divine authority. We're talking about you being the standard. Do I have to read this again? We're talking about you being the standard of social sophistication. That is in your lineage. It is in your blood. Okay? So, another question. When you say yes, and this probably ties into the first question that I just did, but I think it's worth to list this question out separately. Why do you say yes to the things you say yes to? Because you don't want to be viewed as mean? Because you don't want to be viewed as aggressive? Why do you say yes to the things that you say yes to? You know, as a Black woman, you watching this, your response to things are taken differently than anyone else's. How you react to things, your reaction could be the same as another person's reaction, but because you, Black woman, your response can be taken differently. That is not poor Black woman, woe is me. No, no, no. That is how people view you because of your essence as the original woman. You exude a power. You can't help it. That's why in California, they actually had to come up with a law about the Crown Act, because your hair speaks volumes. We can't take these things lightly, okay? Because your hair was offending people. So in order for you to not get discriminated against because of your hair, a Crown Act had to be put into place. And it's interesting to me, this is just a side note, I'm digressing here, but out of all the things that could have been put into place to also protect the Black woman from aggressions, they chose hair. But anyway, but you have to understand the power that you carry. Understand the power you carry. Another question I want you to ask yourself is this. How often do you consider your desires and happiness before doing anything? Before saying yes to anything? Have you considered what you want first? Have you considered what you want first? When you consider your own desires, that is not you just saying, well, let me see if I want this or not. It's so much deeper than that. When you consider your own desires, you're considering your own emotions. When you consider your own emotions, you're considering your body. When you consider your body, you're considering your identity. Therefore, you are considering alignment. Is what I'm doing, is what I've said yes to, is that aligned with my identity? Ultimately, that is what you're getting down to. These questions, again, are so important because it uncovers the layer of programming that has been in operation in your nervous system. It uncovers the operating system that gives you the consciousness where you're operating in the world as a worker, as, I have to do these things to show my worth or to get validation. You may not be saying that, but unconsciously, that is what you're doing. And you can be free, completely free from that when you begin to connect with your spiritual authority. Spiritual authority, your spiritual identity, that will translate into your physical life. Your physical life, it will be translated into your physical life. It starts with you answering those questions. I talked about this before. I'll get into this in more depth in other videos. But it starts with you reconnecting with your lineage, your ancestral line, doing the thing that you were always taught was evil, which is ancestral veneration. Reconnecting with what is in your lineage, reconnecting with that technology, with that power that you have in your heritage, in your lineage as the original woman. So I want you to leave me your comments, leave me your takeaways. Go to unleashedalchemy.com. There are several ways you can work with me. There's a 24-session package that you can email me about. There's also a one-time 55-minute session that you can go to my website and sign up for automatically. It's a 155-minute session where you will walk away with actionable tips that you can start to implement into your life so that you can experience complete liberation in mind, body, soul, spirit, in your physical life, in your money, the way you show up in the world, and in your essence as the original woman with complete confidence. All right. I have books, ebooks, I have courses. All right. And so, yeah. So go to unleashedalchemy.com. We have so much more to talk about. I'm so excited to be and again, to be talking about this book and to start infusing a lot of what's in this book. And also, here's one more thing. I thought I was done. Again, this is written by Mama Zogbe. This is volume 1, where she expands on this book. It's volume 1, Africa's Ancient Gods Unveiled. This is volume 1, okay? So again, the volume 1 is an expansion of the first Prophetesses of Mami Wata, written by Mama Zogbe. Look both of them up. They are available, I think, on Amazon. I mean, you can find them anywhere. I didn't get mine off of Amazon. Where did I go? I don't remember. I went to the African Consciousness bookstore. That's where I got these books. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and end it there before I start rambling. Come back for the next episode. And in the meantime, be sovereign.